So I'll just start, or I'll just iterate what is SCD type 2, and then I'll just immediately go to the practical. Okay, so basically SCD type 2 meaning like we are going to maintain current plus historical data. So the record which is coming from source does not exist in the target table, then we should insert it as a new record with start date as system date and it will be feature dated, because any SCD type 2 mapping will be of three methods: flag method or date method or version method. Basically, we are going to learn about the date method. So when we have the date method, always start date will be system date and date will be some future date. Now, when the record is coming from source, already exists in the target table, and then we should, even then we should insert it as a new record with started as system date and date will be future dated, and we should update the previously active record update. We should update the previously active record and date with system date. Okay. So this is like whenever any transaction is happening for the first time, like it is going to insert with start date as system date and date will be future dated. And then if there is any change here, then also we are going to make another record, but we are going to update the previously active record and date with system date. So like that, for every transaction, we are going to make new entries. We are going to make new entries, and then we'll be keep updating the previously active record and date only. We should not update all the previous records. No, we should not do that. We should update only the previously active record. Okay, how we have to do that I'll show it in the mapping. Go to mapping tab. I'm just creating a new mapping. M underscore SLK 18 underscore SLK. Okay, so when we are having date fields, let's start it in date. So in the database also we need to make sure in the database also we need to make sure the target table structure should be having this started and ended and dimension key values. So now I'm going to create a new target table. Start from EMP. So we have 4 records here. Now what I'm going to do, create table EMP underscore source as select name address from SCD2 target as. So we need to have a dimension key, and we need to have start date, okay. So we need to have a target table. Now the target table is having dimension key, with the start date, end date, and name, number, address. These are the columns.
So, Bhaskar, you are creating this table from EMP, but EMP table do not have the end date started, right?
Yeah, I don't have end date. That's why I've used this date. So when I execute this query, so basically what this create table is going to do. So when I'm going to execute a query, so whatever the result which is coming up, with that result, the table will be created corresponding data types. So since I wanted the start date and end dates, okay, and dimension key. Dimension key should be numeric value. That's why I just start coded as one. And start date and end date I wanted as sys dates. I mean date values. Okay, that's why I just put this date. Truncate table. I'm just truncating it. So that now this is the table which I wanted, and I don't have I don't have any data now. Okay, and source emp underscore src is my source table which is having 4 records. Okay, so this is the source table and this is the target table. Now in the mapping, go to the source. Emp underscore src is my source table. Okay, now I'm getting all the data from source. So just net verify the fields are there. Now what I should do lookup on target table. Do lookup on target table. What is the lookup object? So lookup on the target table emp SCD 2. Because when because whatever the data which is coming from source, and if the record exists or not does not exist, that will be identifying by doing lookup on the target table. And then lookup condition. Yeah, before that we need to resolve the prefix with src underscore. All the source column names prefix with src underscore, so that field name conflicts will not be there. So we need to identify the natural keys. This is the natural key here. Once after doing the lookup on the target table, sorry, lookup on the target table. So we are doing based on certain condition, and then we should take an expression. So in this expression, what we should do? So here we have to identify. We have to write some. We have to create some ports here. Okay, what are the ports that we have to create? So these are the mandatory ports that we will have to create. Okay. Now, what is the target table? What is the target? What is the target table? Structure is okay. What is the target table structure? One is dimension key. So for dimension key, we have to populate a sequence number, and we have start date and end date values. So in while populating the start date and end date values, so for start date, always we have to populate the system date only. But the end date for the new record, we have to insert. We have to populate the feature dated value, and for the previously active record, we have to populate the system date. Okay, so now we need to have 3 fields here. First field, o underscore start date. For the start date, we have to populate the state. Then O underscore end date. So for this end date, we have to populate the feature dated value. So to populate the feature dated value, we should use to date of even 12 triple nine dd hyphen mm hyphen 5 validate it. Now one more end date is previously active record end date. We have to update the previously active record end date. So O underscore previously active record end date. So for previously active record end date, we have to update with the system date. So these are the common. Okay, so these are the common values that we have to create. Then we have to create a variable field that is MD5 source MD5. So precision we have to make 32. In the source MD5, we have to use the MD5 function MD5 of name and address, because these are the two columns. These are the two non-key columns. Number field that we have already used in the join condition. In the lookup condition, we have used the number condition, so we don't need to use it in the expression. Okay, since it is a source MD5, SRC underscore prefix that we have to do, because here we have the SRC underscore name, SRC underscore address. Then we have to do one more variable port. Target MD5. So we have to make it as 32. Okay. Validate. This is the name and address are for lookup. So for a better understanding, what we can do is we can rename the ports. All the ports which are coming from lookup, we can rename it. So from the lookup transformation, we don't need to get the start date and dates. Okay, because from any transformation, we need to see which all the ports are needed. So the ports which are does not needed, we don't need to get them. I don't want to get the start date and date because I don't want to use it for. So those ports are not going to be useful because we are not going to keep them in the MD5. Now let me rename the ports which are coming from lookup. Okay. So LKP underscore. So if you rename it right, then we will clearly understand which is the lookup port and which is the source port. Okay, so these are the ports, lookup and source, so that we can clearly identify. So which is the lookup port, lookup name, address is lookup address. Now we are using an MD5 function to identify the record which is coming from source, having any change or not.
Bhaskar, only one doubt I have. So we
Sorry?
have a end date here, right? We have a end date here, right? So either we can use the future date or else we can keep it as null also, right?
Yeah, that is depends. Yes, we can keep it null also. So there is no hard rule, but there should be some kind of an unique identifier. The end date should have an unique identifier where any other date value should not coincide there. Yeah, we can keep null. If not is null, is null of lookup dimension key. Means if any null value we are getting from lookup dimension key, then just flag it as I, else n. Key is null of lookup dimension key. If lookup value is coming as null, then that record is eligible for insert. Underscore update flag. Now in the underscore update flag, we have to write one more if condition. If not is null of lookup dimension key and source MD5 not equal to target MD5. Source MD5 not equal to target MD5. Okay. If then the record is eligible for update because the MD5 will be different. MD5 will be generated from source and target if different values are there. If the same values are there, MD5 function will generate the same value. Okay. Not is null of lookup dimension key meaning so record is already exist and source MD5 not equal to target MD5 meaning so there is a change in the source. If both the conditions satisfies, then only we have to flag it as U, otherwise we have to flag it as C. Then we have to take a router. So in the router, we have to create two groups. One group is for insert flow. The other group is for update flow. So in the insert flow, we have to write a condition. Insert flag is I. In the update flow, we have to write a condition as update flag is equal to U. Okay. Now we have created because one flow is for insert, the other flow is for update. Okay. Now we need to take three targets. Okay. So why three targets? Target one is to brand new insert. Between that we have to take a sequence. So we have to take three targets. First target is for brand new inserts. HT underscore EMP SCD SCD2 this is for new insert. Okay, one is for new insert. You have to select the table. This is our target table. Now go to field mapping. Before that, in the incoming fields, let us exclude the fields which is not required. Which are the fields is not required? This current value does not required. This lookup address, lookup name, lookup dimension key, lookup number does not required. This O underscore flag is not required. O underscore update flag also is not required. Previously ended also is not required. So let us exclude all the fields so that let us have the only fields which are required. This next value for dimension key, source name, source address, source number, source address, and start date and end date. So these are the fields. Now that we connected to the target, this is for brand new insert. Now when the record is getting inserted, dimension key will be sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start date will be O underscore start date which is system date, and date will be future dated value. So this is for brand new insert. If record does not exist in the target table, if record coming from source does not exist in the target table, so this is the flow. Now, if the record coming from source exists in the target table, even then we have to make as an insert. That means the record which is coming from the update flow also, we have to insert it. So for that, what we should do is, instead of creating direct sequence here, we have to create a shared sequence. Okay, because we have to, the record will be flowing in multiple, in the same mapping, so multiple times. So when the sequence is, when we are going to use the different sequences, the sequence numbers will be, that sequence numbers will be generated, which are same sequence numbers. So in order to avoid that, we have to create a shared sequence. Now I'm just clicking on new component, shared sequence. I'm just creating a shared sequence. CQ, SCD underscore SCD. So this basically we have to keep the mapping name. Okay, SCD underscore, we have to keep the mapping name so that it will be easy for us to understand for which mapping this sequence we are creating. Just saving it. Now, so in the sequence, what I'm doing is, so in the sequence, what I'm doing, I'm going to select, I'm going to use a shared sequence. I'm just selecting M underscore SLK 18 SCD type 2. So for this mapping, I have created a sequence. Now, the same set I just created, because when the record is eligible for update also, we have to insert. Okay, so this is not new insert, this is for update insert. Means the record is actually eligible for update, means the record is already there. Now we are making a historical insert. We are making a historical insert. So the record is eligible for update. This also we are making an insert as a new record with started date, system date, end date will be future dated. Now we need to have one more target. So this target we are going to use it. So this we are going to use it to update the previously active record end date. So the record which is coming from update flow, the record which is coming from update flow, so that record we are going to connect here, and in general this is for update. The only update what is happening, previously active record end date only we are updating it. Now in the field mapping, what we should do, unmap it, unmap all. If at all anything is there, just unmap all of them. Now go to target, change the operation from insert to update. So update columns, dimension key. So we should use only the dimension key. We should not use the number field or any other field. We should just use only the dimension key. So based on the dimension key only, the update should happen. Now, so in the incoming fields, so here we have excluded it, the lookup dimension is required because this lookup dimension key will be having previously active record dimension key value. Okay, so this lookup dimension key will be having previously active record dimension key value and previous end date. Go to field mapping. I'm just connecting. lookup dimension key to the dimension key, and previously end date to the end date. Only these two that I'm doing, because I don't want to update any other field. I just wanted to update only the previously active record and date. So to identify what is the previously active record dimension key, I'm using lookup dimension key. Okay, so this is the data flow, sorry, transformation flow. Any questions? Anyone having any questions here? Yes, please tell me if anyone having any question. Then I'll explain once again if required.
Yeah, Bhaskar, can you explain one more time?
So till which point you understood?
I understood about the target one yesterday insert.
So if you see here, right, the functionality of SCD type 2. So this is the first point that is very much clear. Because if the record does not exist in the target table, we have to insert it as a new record with start date as system date and date will be future dated. This point is clear, right?
Yes, yes, Bhaskar.
Now, let's say I don't have any data here. For the first time when the record is coming, so we'll be doing lookup on the target table, right? So the record is coming from source and we are doing lookup on the target table. What is the target table? So this is the target table. Do we have the record here?
No, we don't have
We
anything.
don't have record here. Now, when the record does not exist, so the lookup is going to give the null value, and then in the expression we have created an insert flag. So in the insert flag we have given a condition that is null of lookup value, then mark it as I. So since record does not exist in the target table, this flag value will come as I. Then in the router, we have created two groups. One record, so one group is to send the record for insert, other group is to send the record for insert and update. So for the first point, the first flow. Okay. Now the record is inserted with from these dimension will be populated from sequence number and start date will be system date and end date I'm populating a some future dated value. Right. So this is clear.
Yes, Bhaskar, it's clear.
Now, when there is any change here, let's say after 1 year, so there is a change is coming for the same record. Instead of Bangalore, this employee moved from Bangalore to Chennai to Hyderabad, Chennai to Bangalore. Now again, when we execute this mapping, it will do lookup on this table based on the condition as number. This is the natural key column. This condition matches.
Yeah, it will match.
Condition matches. When condition is going to match, then lookup is going to give normal value. What lookup transformation is going to do? If condition does not matches, lookup transformation is going to give null value. If condition condition does not matches, lookup will give null value. If condition matches, lookup is going to give not null value. So now the record, this insert flag condition will not satisfy. The update flag record only will satisfy. So not is null of lookup dimension key. And then we are checking source MD5 not equal to target MD5. What source MD5 is doing? It is going to generate 32-bit hexadecimal value, which is coming from the source. Target also is going to be the same. Now, since we have a different values, so names are same, but addresses are different, right? Since we have a different address, different MD5 will be generated. Okay. When the different MD5 is getting generated and lookup value is not null, then we are marking that record as update. Understood till here?
Yes, Bhaskar.
Yeah, you cannot tell me again. I'll explain
This I understood. So we have one more column is I, N, right? In
again.
which
See, because if else IAF is nothing but if and if else. If this condition satisfies, this is the true part. This is the false part. Okay. So when we are giving true part, we should also give the false part. So that's why I just given n, but I'm not going to use it anywhere.
Okay, Bhaskar. Now the dimension key will be 2 and the same record will come. Instead of Chennai, it will come to
Yeah. Now
Bangalore.
hold on. So now the record will go into the update flow. Record will not come in the insert flow because update flag is satisfied. Now the record is coming in the update flow. Even though record is coming in the update flow, we have to insert it as a new record with the start date as system date and it will be future dated. Now sequence number will be 2. New address, let's say 01 December to 025 mode. Now when we are inserting the record, we are going to insert start date as system date and it will be future dated. So this is the functionality of this flow. Now we should also have an update flow which is going to update the previously active record end date with system date. Now what is the previously active record? This record. So now this we are going to update the system date. So that we will get to know this particular transaction is started from this date, ended on this date. So this particular transaction is started on this date, which is having a future dated value. Okay, that means this is the latest record.
Okay, Bhaskar.
Okay, to identify the previously active record, because if you use the number column, so which is going to be same, which is going to give all the values. Okay, but that's why we are using lookup dimension key. So lookup dimension key is the unique identifier. We are using lookup dimension key for that particular key. We are going to update. Field mapping. I just connected lookup dimension key and previously active record ended, which is having the state value. Let me run it. Okay, so 4 records read from the source table. All the 4 records went on to the new insert because there is nothing in the target table. So that's why all the 4 records went into the new insert. May restart again. I did not do any changes in the source. I just simply restarted just to make sure there should not be any inserts or updates. Because sometimes, right, records will keep going for updates. We need to avoid that. So we need to in order to avoid that, we have to execute the same mapping multiple times to see there should not be inserts or updates. So if there is no change in the source end, see now there is no inserts or updates because the mapping is working fine. Okay, now let me open the target table. Let's start from target. See all the so this dimension key started from 0 ideally. So because in the current value, this we have to set it. Okay, current value we have to set as 1 so that it will be starting with 1. Okay, so that is fine. We can adjust the sequence. All the records considered as system date, it will be future dated. I'm just changing the address of this record from Bangalore to Hyderabad. Now let me re-execute. Because there is a change in the source record. Now let us see what is the functionality, like how the mapping is going to behave. There are two transactions happened. One is update insert. So the record which is coming from source is already exist in the target table. So that's why update insert. The record which is coming from the update flow is inserted, and one more record went into the update flow because which is going to update the previously active record entity. Now let me pin it. After the execution, let me check. So if you see here, so there are two records here. Start date will be system date, date will be which is dated for the update, and previously active record also it is updated. So this dimension key is generating the sequence numbers, right? So let us not worry about them. So as long as if it is generating the new, unique numbers, it will be fine. Okay, we can adjust it, no problem. Since it is a shared sequence, we can adjust it. Okay. So always we are maintaining only one latest record. Now there is a catch. The catch is in the lookup transformation on the lookup condition, on the lookup object, on the multiple matches, it is going to return any row. It's going to return any row. So, but we wanted to update only the previously active record. If the lookup is giving any row, then are we going to get the proper previously active record or current active record? Because lookup is returning any row. So for the same Bhaskar record, number 10, if there is any change, again Bangalore to Mumbai. Now when condition matches, yes, condition is matching. Condition is matching. Already there are two records. Out of these two records, we should give the lookup condition should give only this record. If lookup is not going to give this record, if lookup is going to give the other record, okay, again we are going to make that as a new insert. New insert, and we are going to update this record only. We are going to update that record only. So when we are going to update this record only, we will be having two active records. We will be having two active records. This is wrong. So always the lookup transformation should give only the latest record or only the previously active record. That's what we should do. We should restrict it. We should write a query. We should write a query. What query select? D key, name, number, address from MPSRC for EMP, SCD2 underscore AGT, where ended greater than this date. Now we should first execute the query. In the database to make sure which is giving the proper data. The table name is wrong. Okay, which is going to give only the latest record. So for every number, we are going to get only one record because this end date is greater than this date is meaning always only the future dated records will be coming. So always in the lookup transformation, it is advisable to go with the alias names. Task number as address. Okay, so this is the query, and we need to make sure, or we need to execute this query multiple times to make sure this query is not giving any syntax errors. Okay, now this is okay. Click OK. These are the written fields, and this is the condition. Okay, so we have to, instead of selecting the direct object, we have to write a SQL query. Why this SQL query that we have to write? So this is going to give only the latest record. That means this is going to give only the active record. So this is the implementation of SCD Type 2. So any questions? Anyone having any questions here? This is having a data type mismatch. See, the main problem here is with the lookup, the data type condition mismatches. Source number has double data type. The lookup value is having decimal data type. What we should do? We have to convert it to decimal. Now what we have to do is we have to keep expression here. So in the expression, we have to decimal of number. Now in the lookup condition, we have to use this column. O_number, we have to use in the lookup condition. O_number we have to keep so that both will be decimal data types. Again, this is failed. DTM process failed. You need to see the log. For what reason this is getting failed? See, the only change that we did was the query, right? No other changes, no other changes in the mapping. Only changes in the query. Data types for ports number and _number do not match. Lookup condition is not valid. So the best way is to convert it to a string value. Convert that into a string value. Okay, and the expression also, in the previous expression also, to convert it to string value. And then in the condition, lookup condition for string values. If you delete that, create a new condition, number string, this one underscore number string. So that both will be string data type, because when it goes with the integer data type, sometimes it will not work. Okay, so this is the regular problem which I do face in real time. Okay, so sometimes in starting it will be like that only, because when we, that is also when we use the query, when we use the lookup query, so this is how it is going to behave. So now there is no, it is succeeded, there is no inserts or updates because there is no change in the source data. Now what I'll do, I'll just Hyderabad to Mumbai. I just updated Hyderabad to Mumbai. Commit it. Just restarted it. Now for every condition, we are going to have only one record. See now, when you see here, one record went into the update, one record inserted. Now in the target table, you see here, first record is Bangalore, second record is Hyderabad, third record, the latest record is having future data. Okay, because we are not updating any other values, we are just updating only the previously active record. So just to identify that, we can check the timing, 7:41:32. So this end date 7:29:40. Okay, so this is updating only the previously active record and date, which is not updating any other values. Okay, so this is how we are going to implement SCD type 2. So any questions? Anyone having any questions? So if in the interviews people will be asking you, can you explain the transformation flow of this SCD type 2 mapping? So these are the transformations that we use, and this is how the flow is. Like that you have to explain, and real time also we are going to follow the same process, but only the thing is the source columns will change, target columns will change, and lookup condition will change. Apart from this, rest all the same. Rest all the process is same. So if you are using flag method or version method, if you are using flag method or version method, instead of end date, will be having active flag. So when we are inserting it as a new record, we are going to flag it as Y. If you are updating, we are going to flag it as N. The same mapping, exactly same mapping. So in the expression, where we will not be having the start date field, we will be having previously ended. These two fields, right? This is the active flag, inactive flag, or version 0, version 1. Version 0, version 1. So two ports will be there. One will be having the active record value. The other one will be having inactive record value. The rest of the process is same. So that is something that you will have to practice. Okay, I just explained. Only these two port names will change. In the target table, instead of start date and end date, will be having active flag. Apart from that, rest of the process is same only. Okay, so That will be for flag method or version method. So first, I request everybody to practice the date method. If you are completely understood with the date method, then as I just explained, use the previous end date or end date values. So end date will be for active value, and previous end date will be for inactive value. Just populate that, and rest all the process is same. However, it is connected, let them connect as it is, and will not be having this started field. That you can try it and let me know if at all you have any issues. Okay.
Okay, Bhaskar, sure.
Okay, Bhaskar.
Okay, Bhaskar.